Hey guys, it's Courtney. I'm not with Lexi. I know, this is weird. I was just getting ready doing my makeup and I can't stop thinking about this story that happened to me a long time ago. It's just crazy because it's like something I'll remember forever. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this happened when I was like 6th grade. Definitely in 6th grade. I was hanging out with my best friend at the time. We lived right down the road from each other. Okay, we didn't live like on the same road, but like close enough to where like our parents let us like ride our bikes back and forth to each other's houses every day. My older sister and her older sister hung out all the time. They were like the big sisters, and they didn't want us hanging out at whichever house they were at. Me and my friend were getting ready to leave her house because that's where our sisters were, and we were getting ready to head back to my house, and we go outside and we start riding our bikes back to my house. We were like halfway back to my house, and this guy in this truck, I don't know, he was like old, he was probably like anywhere from 50 to 60. He drove by really slow, and we were getting ready to like turn left on the one road, and he just stopped, and we were like, okay. Mind you, we're like 10, 11 maybe. We don't know what's going on at all. And this guy stops, and he's just staring at us, and we were like, okay. And I'm like, just ignore him. I'm like, let's just hurry up, like get around him, like whatever. We did, and we just drove our bikes past around him, and he went on with his life. We went on with our life, whatever. We get back to my house, and then our sisters show up like an hour later, and they were like, we want to go swimming. So we went back to her house again, like all day. It's like every day we were just riding our bikes back and forth like the whole day. And then so we got ready it was like an hour or two later. We got ready, went back to her house. We were hanging out. We get halfway back, the same guy, like same truck, same guy, same everything, waiting like in circles, just driving around. I looked at my friend and I was like, is that the same guy? Like, what is going on? She's like, I think so, blah blah blah. Like, we're little, like we got scared, whatever. We get back to her house and we tell her mom like everything that's going on, and her mom was like, okay, well, I don't want you girls like going back and forth anymore. Like, it's not safe. Like, you don't know who he is. Like, you don't know why he's like going, like following you guys, whatever. I just realized how many times I say like in this video, and I'm really sorry. Like, I am so sorry. So sorry. And we were like, alright, that's fine. So her mom called my mom and like let her know what was going on. Told her to tell our older sisters like to stay where they were and to not like keep riding back and forth. So they stayed there, and then I ended up, my mom finally told me like after like an hour or so, she was like, okay, like I want you to come home, just stay on the phone with me the whole time, let me know where you're at, if you see him, whatever. Which I'm like, thanks mom, like, oh, you care about me so much, like putting me out here with this crazy dude that's following like literally two 10-year-olds around. I get home and my mom was like, did you see him? Like, where was he? And I told her, I was like, well, I see him, like he's parked like 2 rows down. Like, I saw his truck, like he was parked. He wasn't even just sitting at the road, like he was pulled halfway out into that road. My mom, I go back inside, tell her, I'm like, he's still down there, like I can see him, blah blah blah, whatever's going on. My mom and my stepdad told me, they were like, alright, well, we're gonna be right here. Like, my stepdad like was waiting in like the front window we had, and then like my mom was standing at the door, and they're like, we're gonna wait right here and we want you to go outside in the front yard, pretend like you're doing gymnastics. Now, being 20 years old, I look back and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have gone outside because that's just creepy. He could have pulled up and snatched me, and like, that would have just been bad. I say, okay, I go outside. I'm just doing cartwheels, like doing whatever. I keep looking back at my parents. I'm like, oh, he's still there. 5-10 minutes go by probably, and I was like, Mom. And she's like, what? I'm like, he's coming. She's like, get back inside now. So I was like, okay. Run my way into the house, and my mom books it. Like, when I say books it, like, books it out the front door. So she, like, books it out of the house. She's, like, sprinting to her car, jumps in, starts the car. So she's chasing him, or, like, down our road, like, out of where we live, like, our little town. And I was crying, I was upset, whatever. So my mom calls the cops while, like, she only chased him to, like, number one, like, she wanted him to get out of here because, like, he was following around 2 10-year-old girls. Like, what grown man does that? Second of all, she, like, wanted to get his license plate number so, like, we could, like, tell the cops and get it figured out, figure out who he was, like, where he's from, all that kind of stuff. So a little bit goes by, and she gets home, and I'm not as upset anymore, like, I'm whatever. And I've been on the phone, like, with my friend, like, telling her, like, my mom chased him out, like, she's getting his license number, like, whatever. You're on my YouTube. Nice. I'm telling the story about that time that we got followed by that guy. Oh, yeah. Come say hi. Yeah. You just gotta... What's up, YouTube? Hi. What's up, YouTube? She brought me this wonderful cupcake. Thank you. So anyways, I'm telling my friend all this stuff, like, this is going on, whatever, blah, blah. My mom gets home, we call the cops. The one officer that, like, lives close to me came over, and I was like, yeah, like, there's this bad guy, like, you know, little me, like, don't know what's going on. I wasn't, like, super scared. Like, I was scared because, like, you know, obviously, like, even little kids have a sense of, like, someone's following you. Like, that's not okay. The cop's at my house. He's talking to me. He's asking me questions, which, like, I saw him more than my sister did. Like, my sister and then my friend's sister, when they were going back and forth, too, like, they saw his truck and everything, but, like, they just didn't really pay mind to it, like me and my friend did. So I'm telling him all the details, like, what his truck looked like, what he looked like, this and that. My mom gave him the license plate number, whatever. So a day goes by, maybe 2 days goes by. The cops called my mom back and, like, started telling her everything, like, that they found out. So when they looked up his license plate number, like, he wasn't from around here. He lives in a town that's probably, like, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour away from my house. So, like, number one, like, what was he doing here, right? They found where he lived. They found his address, everything. So they sent cops from that, like, my town's cops called his town's cops, let them know what was going on, like, told them everything, told them to wait at his door, like, until he got home, or until he came out, like, if he wasn't home, like, to wait for him. So they waited for him at his house, and he pulls in, and he was like, oh, like, can I help you guys? Like, obviously, like, seemed normal, which, mind you, they looked up, like, his background, and he doesn't have any record. Like, literally, like, they said he didn't even have any speeding tickets, like, no trouble whatsoever. And then they were, like, asking him questions, like, so what were you doing 2 days ago around this time in this town, like, where I live? And he was like, oh, I wasn't there. And they were like, no, you were, because you were chased out of that town by some girl's mom. The daughter felt like you were following her and her friend all day long. He's like, no, he's like, I've never been there, blah, blah, blah. And they keep questioning him. They're like, well, how else would this woman get your license plate number? How would they know the description of your truck? How would they know your description? Like, you had to have been there. And he goes, oh, wait, when was this? And they were like, it was like 2 days ago, yesterday, like, whichever day it was. And he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I completely forgot I was out that way. My ex-girlfriend lives there. She just moved there. I was just circling around, like, trying to find her house because we're fighting. Like, I'm trying to get back with her and she won't tell me where she lives, this and that. And he's like, and I saw those two girls riding their bikes around, so I was like gonna ask them if they knew where she lived. Like, just all this stuff, like, about like this ex-girlfriend that he was looking for. Which, I mean, whatever, like, if he was, like, that could be the case, I guess, but like, he was there from probably like noon one day until like it got dark in the summer. So that's like 9, somewhere around there. So like, and this part, like where I live, my road, all these little side roads, like it's not that big of an area. So like if she lived around here, like he would have seen her car. He would have eventually found the house. Like he would have found it. Like 9 hours to literally go down the road, and like if I were to like corn maze through all these back roads right here, 10 minutes max. Literally 10 minutes max. Like, it would not take that long. Like, it's really not that big of an area that he claims that she lived in. So, I don't know. So, he was just saying all this stuff, like, blaming it, like, he was trying to find his ex-girlfriend. Like, he had no idea who we were. Like, he didn't even remember seeing 2 little girls riding bikes. But then said he saw us and was gonna ask us where, whatever, I don't know. It was a mess, but that's about it. Never saw him again. The cops kind of told him, like, well, even if you are fighting with your ex-girlfriend, like, why are you just showing up, like, trying to show up where she lives, like, be an adult, use your phone, communicate, like, you don't need to, like, be stalking. They were like, even if you weren't stalking, like, those young girls, like, you're stalking your ex-girlfriend, like, that's still weird, like, mind your business, stay home, whatever. We never like saw or like heard from him again, and me and my friend were just super freaked out. And I don't know, that story, I was just watching YouTube and some girl was telling a story time, and like that story just kind of like popped into my head because I really don't have many stories. That's probably one of like the only like weird things that's ever happened to me in my life, and it happened when I was like 10, literally 10 years ago. But it was interesting, and I literally will never forget that day as long as I live, just because, like, how weird it was. And, like, I was a little girl, like, being followed by some guy, like, old guy. Like, he ended up being, like, 62, and it was just wild. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Sorry if it was boring. I just really wanted to tell that story because it's just... Looking back on it now, like, it's funny that it happened to me. Like, stuff like that is so weird. Like, people are so weird. Like, just be normal. Like, be normal. Don't stalk little kids. Like, don't stalk your ex-girlfriends. Like, let them live their life. Let these little kids live their life. Like, you're 62 years old. Like, grow up. Mind your business. Go home. Watch some TV. Take a nap. Do something. Just don't be weird. Moral of the story, don't be weird. Like, don't stalk people. Especially me, because I'm just, especially now, like, that's just weird. So anyways, like and subscribe, and if you have any video ideas that you want me to do, Lexi to do, or us together, or whatever you want us to do, comment that below, and we will see you next time.